Hi everyone and welcome back. This is our final week of gymnastics where we add props to our performance. We've built up our medium-term scheme of work and we are now on week 6, and we're going to ask children to add balls, hoops and ribbons to add extra dynamics to their sequence. Using the equipment effectively is our theme for today. We're then going to look at how we actually deliver it within your PE lesson, and as always we'll share our 3 top tips at the end to help your teaching go even further. The children in your class will probably have a range of experiences, from those children that have attended gymnastics lessons before and maybe even competed, to those children who are just starting out. Although our gymnastics performance won't look anything like this, we can still allow children to use the equipment. Having balls, hoops, ribbons would be perfect, and of course feel free to add in any extra equipment that you feel might add to it. Each of the equipment has different properties. With the ball, we might throw, we might catch, we might roll, we might bounce. If children use the hoop, they can grip it more effectively, they might be able to rotate it, or even be creative and find out different ways of getting through the hoop. And we can spin, twirl and flick the ribbon behind us to add an extra fluid dynamic to our sequence. So how does all of this look within our PE lesson? You're going to get the mats out and this week add in an equipment box. So when children come in, they can get one piece of equipment and then safely go over to their mat. Children are then going to add to last week's performance with a balance, jump, roll, turn, a skill before finishing with another balance. They can do this in any order, so ask them to think about the transitions we worked on last week in order to create a smooth and silky performance. In the skill aspect, you're going to ask children to do something unique with the piece of equipment that they have. This also ties into our cross-curricular learning, as they use ideas that they've learned from other PE lessons. By giving children the equipment, they can add in extra flair, dynamics and panache to their performance. This part of the session will take up about 15 to 20 minutes. The remaining 30 to 35 minutes is going to be used for the performance, and we're going to do it slightly differently this week. Children are now going to perform one at a time in front of the whole class, which are going to serve as the audience. It's very important at this time to reinforce the expectations that we have of the audience. They're going to watch the performance in complete silence, looking for opportunity to magpie some ideas, and then they applaud the performance at the end. Most children will love having the spotlight on them, but for any children that are struggling a little bit, there's no problem with reverting to doing performances back in small groups. And here are our 3 top tips. Some of the children will be mega excited that all of a sudden there's a box of equipment in the room, so give them plenty of time to play and explore. This helps them to burn off all that extra energy that comes with the novelty of using new equipment. The second thing we can do is ask children to use the performance in order to tell a story. This might be a topic that you've been working on in class. It might be magical creatures, it might be mythical stories that you've been learning about, or it might be a story of emotions, from failure to success, rags to riches, triumph in the face of adversity. It might even be a school theme such as anti-bullying. And finally, allow children to swap equipment. What they pick initially isn't set in stone. It might be that children start their practice and quickly realise that the piece of equipment they've got isn't congruent with what they're trying to achieve or the story that they're trying to convey. Allowing them to swap equipment allows them to achieve their ideal and keeps the children on side with us, so they're likely to work harder for longer. And that concludes our medium-term scheme of work for gymnastics. If you found it useful, then please like and then share the video with anybody else that you feel would benefit from it. And as always, remember to subscribe so that you can catch next week's video. I'll see you then.